overnight oats, delish. Oh, what is this? A mango and passion fruit pot. Oh my god, what is this? This looks great.
No, it's coffee. Oh.
Welcome back to another episode of Lifting the Lid. You may have noticed that we're on the floor. And that is for a special reason. Today, we're doing a Gails mukbang.
And we're so excited.
So excited.
Gails have kindly gifted us all of this food. We've got croissants. We've got 3 types of croissants. We've got apple and blackcurrant overnight oats. We've got blueberry yogurt pots. We've got, what's that over there? I can't see it.
A mango and passion fruit chia pot.
We've got an overnight oat with date almond bites and sweet tahini.
Oh. That's my favourite one.
Okay, you can have that.
I think that's fair.
Enjoy it.
Thanks, guys.
I feel you've not even introed what this podcast is, who we are at all.
I don't think I do that normally, do I?
No. Yeah, you do. You always say, and today I'm back with my co-host, Seran and Lucy.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Come on now.
And today I am back with my co-host, Seran and Lucy. I just said Sarah Ann.
Sarah Ann. Oh, fuck's sake.
Sarah Ann.
It's not the first time someone's called me that.
Anyway, I'm going to get started on my tea.
Yeah.
Look at this whole oat milk.
And I am going to pour myself a coffee out of this ginormous box.
I'm stressed for you. I feel like you're going to spill it because you're quite clumsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. It very much looks like we're at a festival.
Yeah, it's giving that. I was saying,
I mean, I've
you
never
could take
been,
that to a
so-
festival.
I've never been to a festival, so I wouldn't know.
That's on brand
That's
for
on
you.
brand. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh my God, can you imagine if I went to Glastonbury? That would be
No, I can't.
the most rogue thing ever.
I feel you'd be very stressed during
I
that
would
experience.
hate it. Please may I have a spoon to stir my tea?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm...
We've got spare.
Do I want pasteurised, unhomogenized?
I was trying to say homogenized.
Homogenized, okay.
What does that mean?
Well, whatever it means, I'm having it.
Oh gosh, that's quite
I think it's good. It means it's been fed by grass.
Oh, that could have been ASMR.
Are we just doing a sharing situation here?
I think a pastry could get a bit out of hand and very crummy for me, so maybe I should stick with the one that I said I liked.
What do you like? You want this? The
Yes,
seeded overnight oats. Enjoy.
There's also two
there's
of
2 of
those.
them. I think I might go with this.
I'm going to try some of this.
An apple and blackcurrant overnight oats with almond butter, blackcurrant chia compote. Oh, this is plant-based, guys.
Oh,
wow,
For
vegan
all the
queen.
vegans out there.
Gails have very kindly sent us this. The reason why this is so full circle in a kind of crazy way is because of the office journey that we have been on.
Crazy.
Which has been a journey.
Which has been a journey, and you know, you guys have caught the tail end of the journey. The journey goes back 2 years ago. Firstly, TBH was my bedroom. We did all the work in my bedroom.
No, not we.
We being me. When Seran joined, obviously, could no longer do it in my bedroom. That would be quite strange.
That would be very weird.
I basically told you to meet me at Gails on the first day, didn't
at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday, and I remember that very vividly.
That's very
and
specific.
That's
Was it the Gails and Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is where this food came from. That specific Gails. I saw on the
That's
little
so
tracker.
weird.
Isn't it weird?
Oh my god. From that Gails.
The exact Gails.
The universe is telling us something.
That we love Gails.
That we do. I mean, yeah, that's where I met you, and we just like hung out there, and then I remember that's where I would meet you every Tuesday, because it was once a week back then.
Then it sort of did get to a point where we needed something a little bit less cafe vibes.
Bubba
When I
was the next
started-
place, and we used to sit at the back of Bubba Oasis, and it was literally a bar.
And then what was next? King's Cross?
Megan's.
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 You're skipping ahead.
Still
That
an
was-
Angel. We
and
loved Angel.
This
We
is
did.
where I feel Lucy took control.
Well, Megan's have quite a like co-worky setup. Like they promote that in the day. They're like, come and work here. So we went to Megan's and you guys had scrambled egg and smoked salmon every single week. And I remember one particular day, I don't know if you guys remember this, we were in Megan's, their Wi-Fi stopped working.
Oh my God.
So then we said, right, we're gonna go to Gails. We went to Gails. Obviously, we were arriving late in the day at this point.
About
there
4
was
o'clock.
no seats with access to plugs. So we sat in Gails for a little while, but then all of our laptops died. And we were like, good. So then we found this random cafe. I can't remember what it was called.
Redemption Roasters, but downstairs.
But downstairs, they had this like Greek cave.
so weird. So funny.
I remember we got a piece of lemon and poppy seed loaf to share.
We did.
And we sat in this cave and we were all like, right, amazing, we've got plugs, we're in a weird cave. And guys, it literally was a cave.
It was. There was white mosaic on the walls.
So bizarre.
was
And,
that
like,
the time when we
cherubs
decided to finish early because we just couldn't do
Yeah.
it?
And then the
We went
Wi-Fi
went-
didn't work in the cave.
And we went to the pub afterwards. I really remember that.
And then Verity was like, I think we should just scrap it for today. And we were like, yep. And we went to the pub. Then we moved to King's Cross.
Yeah, which I liked that era, but you guys didn't like it.
No, I did, right? So Samsung have a like co-working space in King's Cross that people can use for free, which I think is really cool.
It's amazing.
And it's such an amazing concept. But I had 2 gripes. First gripe, on a Thursday you couldn't get water because the cafe was closed.
So weird.
And one time we were literally parched, like we're dying of thirst. Like we just want some water. And there's a tap, right? Water's free, obviously, from a tap. So there was a little rope and Verity just went around the rope to fill her bottle so she didn't die of dehydration. And then this security guard comes over and he's like, do you not think there's a rope there for a reason? You're not allowed back there. And she was like,
it was so wild.
And me and Seran were trying not to absolutely wet ourselves. Second gripe, sometimes you just turn up and they'd be like, there's an event on, we're closed. And we'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where you are right. It wasn't fit for purpose. However, would definitely recommend any freelancers, anyone. It's a really good place.
There's a lot of students there. A lot of students.
Excellent vibes. Would recommend. Before we go on to the next era,
This is gonna be half the
producer Sophia, do you want a croissant? Because you need one.
Yeah, she does.
It's good. Sorry, I've just.
And
like,
also,
Oh my god.
producer Sophia's just decimated her laptop.
Well, it looks okay.
I hope it was worth it for the Gails croissant.
Right. So we've been to Samsung, but then one day at Samsung we got kicked out early and we went to that gym.
Fora. No, not Fora. It begins with an S.
Lucy, you remember this, but this was just one day.
It was just
I
one
don't
day.
know if we can call it an era.
It was a brief era. I think the
Control
reason
Alt
I always mention this gym is because it was quite a pivotal day. Because we met Oz that day for the very first time, Sarah
We bumped
and I.
into Molly Campsey, the absolute mega babe.
And we bumped into Molly Campsey, and we were only there for an afternoon. So in my head, it was a kind of an era in itself.
Yeah, love Molly Campsey, by the way. If you don't already follow her,
please do.
Excellent fashion content. She's
a vibe.
Actually, really lovely story about how I met her. I kind of was introduced to her. So she actually went to uni with my brother and my
That's
brother's
really
wife.
cool.
And when we were casting for the Tala shoot, I was looking for models, like the first ever OG Tala shoot, where we used lots of people, not just official models. And I was looking for models, and my brother's wife, Isla, messaged me saying, there's this amazing girl called Molly Campsey. Here's her profile. At that point, I think she had under 10k followers.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
I didn't know this story.
Yeah,
neither did I.
And I messaged her and she was like, I'd love to. She came along. She was a vibe on the shoot. She is one of those people I've worked with her in that situation, but she's one of those people is a joy to work with. She's so professional. She takes what she does so seriously. Sometimes her and I will just meet up and talk about the industry for 2 hours and time will fly.
That's so cute.
Because we both obviously are weirdly obsessed with it. But she is just so professional and great. Why was I talking about Molly Campsey?
We met her.
Yeah.
And we met her on that day.
At the gym.
She'd been at the gym. And we just bumped into her.
There was a cafe. We weren't just what
Yeah, it was a
with
work
treadmills.
space.
Yeah. Imagine. I feel like we've said gym, but it's giving that vibe.
Guys, this is so good, by the way.
Oh my God, yeah, guys, I've
10
absolutely
out of 10.
demolished this.
The tahini is doing bits.
What is
Very nice.
tahini?
It's what's
That's
in
in
hummus. I'm sure tahini's sesame paste.
Then what was next?
Soho House.
Oh, that was a funny era.
That was long.
That wasn't that long.
Yes, it was.
I think it felt long, but it wasn't actually long.
What was after Soho House? Oh my God, the boutique.
Boutique office work.
No, it wasn't. Nat West.
No!
West. Sorry.
West.
How could we forget? That was the longest era.
Which we got into a accelerator scheme hosted by NatWest, which is amazing, by the way. Also would highly, highly, highly recommend to other entrepreneurs. You get office space within that. As you're growing as a business, spending money on offices is really just not something you want to do if you can avoid it until you really need to. And particularly as it's come out, I don't love being in an office. It's sort of
No, really?
So paying loads of money for somewhere I actually don't even want to be was not top of my priority list and doesn't make sense. So you kind of try and find ways around that. NatWest is a great one. Boutique Membership Club is where we went after that, which is a really reasonable membership. However, the chairs
are uncomfortable.
were a bit uncomfortable.
And you can only have
Also,
4 people.
it's
And you can only work till
Workplace
5.
Company, just in case someone wants to Google it.
Oh, Boutique Workplace Company, and you get a membership
So
there.
it's just an asterisk on that one.
And then finally,
The new office.
we're now
The new
in office,
office.
which feels right.
Love it. Love it. Location, 10 out of 10. Vibes, 10 out of 10. Big,
Biscuit tin.
faked Stanley, 10 out of 10.
Biscuit tin.
11 out of 10.
11 out of 10, especially maybe 15 when there's M&S chocolate wraps.
Yeah.
Massive Gales right across the road.
Where?
10 out of 10.
Where?
Down the little side street by Life Size Monopoly. It's a massive one. Massive.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have my pastry now.
What are you going to have?
The pain au chocolat.
Pain au chocolat.
I will say,
Oui.
the cinnamon bun from Gales is a 10-10. I would love to know how many of them I've eaten in my life.
Can I trade you some
What,
of this
a
for some
fillet
of that?
of croissant for my whole cinnamon
No,
bun?
not the whole thing, just a small
Oh
sliver.
yes, please rip up what you would like. You're not allowed
Guys,
the
this
centre,
isn't
though.
a pain au chocolat.
Oh,
it is.
What is it? Remember that? Remember when people used to swap stuff in their lunchboxes?
Yeah.
Like, I used to always swap people my brunch bar for something that was way better than a brunch bar. So maybe that's where my negotiation skills started. Back in the playground.
It was like raisins were the lowest of the low. Like no one would swap you if you had
Or
raisins.
any fruit.
My lunchbox was shit, so no one was swapping anything for
Oh,
mine.
what was yours? Were you like a healthy kid? Did you
Yeah.
have like school bars?
Like, no, like, as in apples, banana.
Not even a fun bar, like a
I
square.
bet you had raisins
Yeah.
in the little red packets.
I did.
Sunny Maid, Sun Maid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that woman.
To be fair, though, they are actually banging.
No, they're not. I hate raisins.
No, they are, guys.
Okay, guys, no one cares about our raisin chat.
No, no one cares.
Okay,
Let's
Sorry.
move along to
No.
a new member of our team.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, obviously, like, we've had Nia join,
Woo, welcome, Nia.
which is very exciting.
So exciting.
Nia is our new social media exec, which means she's working across all the different platforms. So we've had a bit of a glow up, guys. We've had a bit of a glow up. Previously, the TBH talent Instagram was Verity/TBH because I'm too scared to post anything about me on my actual Instagram because I'm scared that everyone I know will be like, who's this freak? You know?
They think that anyway. So
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah.
No, but that's not true because they don't really.
Because Verity's a bit of a cool girl in her actual life.
No, it's not that. But previously, I just never even used to post. Like, I used to quite like being like anonymous.
Okay.
Which is ironic because I'm so unanonymous.
Yeah,
and
And
I
you're
was
so
gonna say.
chronically online.
I'm so chronically online. But as far as I'm concerned, no one in my personal life knows that.
Yeah, but you're smashing it. Like you're what's the word? Like
Taking the leap.
Yeah, taking the leap of faith.
Thanks.
Proud
That's
of
kind
you.
of you. And do you know what, actually? Something really exciting came off the back of
Yes.
our Saffron Barker
Oh, yeah.
AI. So we were talking
fun.
about the Saffron Barker AI ad, and we were approached by the company that are doing it, who are listening to our content, who've asked if they want to work with our talent.
Which is so cool.
So cool. Like this is one of the reasons why we wanted to do the podcast, right? Like find these amazing opportunities. So
Yeah, find more amazing opportunities for our roster, our Sonias.
I was going to say, talking about Sonia's social media, that kind of brings us around to JC, because I know you loved the post that JC did the other day. For context, for those who maybe haven't listened to the previous episodes, but if you haven't, you should go back and listen. JC is one of our Sonias and used to do our social media, but now has gone full-time as a creator, which we're so excited for her about.
So exciting.
But she did a really cool post about it.
Yeah, shall I get the post up? I will never ever take the position I'm in for granted. Thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart for being here. Just know you'll always be safe here and I'll always try to keep it real. So to sum it all up, my reel may start to look a little different, and I want to navigate it as respectfully as I can. I never want anyone to compare their life to mine and leave feeling crappy. I will always emphasize that it's not normal to go for mid-morning coffees and 3 p.m. walks and brand events and do hauls and travel. Social media has made that seem normal, and it breaks my heart, and I don't want to add to that.
I actually got goosebumps there. I love that
Same.
woman with my whole heart, and I think that is the most self-aware thing ever, because none of that is normal. Like, it's not our normal.
No.
Even doing this podcast is not normal. Like, we work 9 to 5 at our laptops, often longer, and that's not everyone's reality. And I think just having an awareness of that is half the battle.
yeah, and also just like obviously that had been something that was playing on her mind, and the fact that she has opened up and been so authentic with her audience, I just feel like they're going to be able to respect her when she's doing those events and
Yeah.
having those mid-morning coffees, because she understands that that is maybe not everyone's norm, and that's okay. Like everyone's day does look different, and obviously creators are now living in a space where going for coffees in the middle of the day or whatever they do in the middle of the day that's sort of up to them, it might feel a little bit foreign to people who have normal jobs, quote unquote. But I think that's okay, and she's acknowledging that, and I just love her.
Yeah, and I think I can see how it can get really out of hand. Because a lot of people only really follow influencers. So then it's like, oh, hang on, that, like, why don't I have it like that? Like, and it feels like in a way that's the norm. I mean, probably even for us, we only really, I don't follow that. My friends don't really post. So like all I'm actually consuming is influencer content.
Yeah.
And I remember like, even when I was watching Zoella when I was younger, or those sorts of creators, and I'd be like, well, I need X amount of pairs of shoes, or I need like X amount of
MAC
moisturizers
lipsticks.
and MAC
Yes.
lipsticks
Oh my
and all the
gosh.
rest of it. And the reality is, I mean, there's this trend going around at the moment, isn't there, which is about kind of like normal.
Like de-influencing.
De-influencing and the normal consumption thing.
Yeah. And like the reality is, when I find it so funny when people ask me, they're like, oh, what shoes are you wearing to that wedding? And I'm literally like, the same pair of heels that I wear to every single wedding. I'm not buying another pair of heels.
Yeah.
And it's just those sorts of things, whereas it's so normalized to be like, brand new pair of shoes, brand new dress, whatever.
And also I think it's the fact that like, when you reference like watching Zoella back in the day, like I truly believed that she was like buying all of the stuff that was in her videos, right? So, and maybe didn't have the awareness when I was like 13 that these things might have been gifted to her, or, you know, and I think it's like, people I feel are starting to become more aware of these things, but I do still think that even if it's disclosed as a gift, it can feel so overwhelming seeing people opening up these PR packages. Like, it's so vastly different to what most people experience.
But this is why I think communicating with your audience is so important. And I feel like this is something I say a lot, is like, as a creator, like, respect that your audience are real people, and if you just communicate with them, they're gonna be more open to that sort of scenario. Like, so for JC, for example, she's aware her life is gonna dramatically change. If her content just changed overnight, there could have been a little bit of backlash, or people being like, wait, what? This is not what I signed up for. But she's actually communicated to them, look, this is what's happening, this is what I'm nervous about, this is what I want you to be aware of. And then she can go forward on a good foot because that communication has happened.
Yeah, and I can imagine it must be scary to do that.
Yeah.
To be so vulnerable and like show really how you're truly feeling to your audience. So props to her.
And it's even that whole thing of, and I think this really used to get to me in the like, you know, there was that gym girl, I mean, we're definitely still going through it, and there's all sorts of pressures that are put on women around like what their body should or shouldn't look like. But that, you know, there was that gym girl era, you know, there was a load of Gymsharky creators, and I was big into that whole thing.
It was every day was leg day.
Yeah, every day was leg day, that sort of thing. That is realistic for gym influencers, because they can wake up when they want, they can go to the gym in the middle of the day, they can eat whatever they can spend time meal prepping. And I used to, and probably still do, get quite hard on myself in terms of, why aren't I eating overnight oats every morning that I've prepped myself? Why aren't I going to the gym every single day and making sure that I'm doing X, Y, Z and eating protein shakes and all the rest of it?
Yeah.
And I do think that narrative plays in my head, but realistically, for me, it's not as easy. As much as I'd love to be able to do that, it's not. And also for me, like I need to recognize my own privilege. I control my diary to an extent. So it's much easier for me than someone who's working more of a traditional standard 9 till 5. And similar for you guys in the sense that you have flexibility. Certain people don't even have.
I don't even know. Like, I talk to my friends, and like some of them have to work so late and they just don't have any time for themselves, and like they have to be in the office every day of the week. And I mean, thank you to you for being so flexible, because I actually don't know what I would do.
I think I have been so spoiled, because like obviously you guys have both experienced like the normal, whatever the normal is, 9 to 5 in the office every single day. I've never done that. This is like my first office-based job. I think if I was ever to work somewhere else, I would get a bloody fright, because like this is, I'm like, oh yeah, this is normal. Everyone does this. It's great.
Yeah, to be fair, the thought of having to go into an office every day, be there at 9, like send shivers down my spine.
And the same for me, really, because even though I did do that at Gleam, like it was 9 till 5, it was actually 9:30 till 5:30, I think. So we missed sort of the main rush hour.
Verity hates rush hour, if you haven't noticed.
I just...
So your Roman Empire, just constantly think about Russia.
No, I actually am. Like, I hate being on a train with loads of people. Like, it stresses me out. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
It does not start my day right. And again, this is so privileged. This is so privileged
Yeah.
to say that. So, like, I have to say that. And I'm obviously so grateful that I don't have to do that. But sometimes I do and I don't like it. But one fewer person on that rush hour train for everyone else is a good thing.
You're helping out the greater good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we go like this?
It's like that, you know, that TikTok time when they're like,
I feel like after that conversation, it probably makes sense to revisit the questions that we were asked when people were like, what is it that talent managers actually do? What do you look for in a creator to sign on the roster?
Firstly, I think this is something that we can all kind of agree that is very key to our Sonias, is we want to sign people, creators that have got something to say. I think understanding kind of a creator's value and what their mission is with their content, right? It's like we always say, and I don't know if we've mentioned this in the pod before, but that we look for lifestyle talent with something to say. That's kind of our motto, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word.
What we search for.
Absolutely. So I think that's a big sort of key factor. Obviously, things like engagement is super important in terms of like the more, I guess, like boring stuff, like analytics wise. But I think at the heart of it is we really want to look for those creators that have got something meaningful and that are bringing some value to their audience.
And it really is engagement over follower count. A great example of that, and we can call her actual name and not Sonia, is Frankie. Yeah. I found Frankie at sub 10,000 followers, and I was like, I put her onto the group and I was like, this girl is a vibe. I love her whole motto about like getting people outside. I love her mission to like get people to like explore the outdoors and get involved with nature. And she is an 11 out of 10 vibe. And we met her. I then found out that she was going to an event, one of Millie Gooch's sobriety events or dry discos, which is another lifestyle creator with something to say. And because Frankie is also sober. And I was like, guys, Frankie is going to be at the event. Let's just have a chat with her. So I went over to her and we went over to her and she was with her friend. And she made me laugh when she was like telling me her version of this event. She was like, she just got a really big burrito. I think she was just like, why have they come over when I'm eating a massive burrito? But we just got talking and we got on really well. And then she then like later messaged us, but we signed her, what, like 20K, 30K? Like,
yeah, she grew really fast.
But I think that's another thing that actually we really look for is we really like to prioritize creators that are in that growth phase because we really like going on that journey with creators and helping them grow. Like Clouds as well, for example. I'm pretty sure I found Clouds when she had like 10,000 followers and we signed her pretty soon after that. And now she's like above 200,000 on both platforms, Instagram and TikTok. But I think another really important thing to say is people always ask us, like, is there like a key metric that you look for in terms of like insights and stuff? And I'd say the main one that we do definitely look for is UK audience. Like if I was to put my finger on something that would be our like immediate first thing we look at, UK audience, because at the end of the day, the majority of the brands we work with are UK based and that is their priorities. So I feel like if there's anything to like say that's specific. There's not a specific number, but it's definitely something that's important.
Yeah, and that's not to say we wouldn't work with someone who had a lower UK audience.
No.
There are obviously variables within that.
100%.
And again, I think it's really important to look at it like, it's not a judgment on you as a creator. It's a judgment on, can we as TBH with our skill set, our brand contacts, our network, help you elevate? Can we add value to you is actually what we're looking at. Whereas
we're not looking at, are you good?
Yes.
There's no definition of that.
And I can think of conversations that I've had with creators who, you know, they're fantastic, their content's amazing, their engagement is great, but when we've actually sat back and thought about who our like key brand contacts are, it hasn't made sense to sign them. And we can think of other agencies that actually might be a better fit. And I think it's about being honest and not just signing someone because you're like, oh, I love their content so much, but actually like Verity said, thinking about what we can actually give them, because it's a two-way thing, right? We want them to succeed, but if we can't help them do that, then it's a waste of both of our time.
We want them to join and be like, wow, this has happened, and that is because of, otherwise it's a waste of everyone's time.
100%.
There's lots of different things that we look for. The main one is that you're a lifestyle creator, aka you work across lots of different categories and you have something to say, and that doesn't need to be political. But in our onboarding form, we have that now. It's like, what's your mission? So we can really get to grips with what is that creator trying to do. Some of our creators, you know, have like quite a specific mission. Others we feel are like just saying something interesting or different. The next is engagement. I'd say that's a really, really big one. Like more than growth. If you're growing, great. But I'd say if you're highly engaged and you've got a good community and you're saying something, then that's also great. Can we add value to what you're doing? Like, is there breadth to work outside of just brand deals? Is there a brand partner that we see that we have that we feel would be a perfect fit for you? Do you approach people you want to manage, or do they go to you?
Both.
Both, yeah.
I'd say a year ago, if you were to ask us that question, we were approaching 80 to 90% of the people that we wanted to manage, because obviously we were building our reputation within the industry. But I would say now it's definitely the other way around. The majority of the people that we end up signing come to us, I would say mostly by word of mouth from other creators, and lots of recommendations from our Sonias, which is so, so kind. And yeah, we do reach out to some people now, but majority it's creators coming to us, which is so cool.
Yeah, did I have that stat at the Sun Party? It was last year we had over 200 creators reach out to be on our roster.
Insane.
Which is crazy because we are a small boutique agency. Really.
And at that point we were just 3 girls with 3 laptops. Do you know what I mean? Now we've got
working in gails.
Working in gails.
Dreams with big dreams.
And now we've got a full-on office, 5 girls, 5 laptops, and we're not working in gails, but we're still eating gails.
And we've still got big dreams.
And so many big
Huge dreams.
Getting even bigger.
So for context, we had obviously 200 people reach out in the last year, and we have under 20 on our roster. So I think that gives a good idea as to how careful we are with the audit, because it's so important to not waste anyone's time. And also, obviously we have our non-exclusive roster as well. So we've got lots of different options for creators of all sizes. But if someone were to reach out, we have an application form on our website, which will help us basically decide whether we are able to add value to what the creator is doing, because we'll ask for things like the demographic,
mission, their brand partners, audience insights, their platform links, whether they're full-time. I think that's the main things. Where they're based as well, that is also quite important.
Yeah, really important.
Not that we only exclusively represent creators that are based in the UK, but for example, if a creator lives in Australia, it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the time difference. So yeah, there's just lots of things. And we like to collate all that information, not to be annoying and make people fill out a form, but so we can make an informed decision and actually properly consider everything, because you can't tell everything just by scrolling on someone's TikTok.
No.
And I also think it's so important as well, like from a creator's perspective, to actually really kind of try and understand the different options they have in terms of management agencies, and really like do your homework and research and to kind of see like what attracts you to different agencies. Like, do you want to be at a bigger agency? Do you want to be at a smaller agency? I don't know. I just think we want to champion other agencies.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
We're all working towards, you know, the same goal and in the same industry. And I think it's really good to kind of cheer each other on rather than be competitive and like have weird vibes.
So I actually think the next question I'm going to ask really does flow on from what we were just talking about. So what is the first step when you sign a creator?
Sign the management agreement, step number 1.
Yes, and actually before that, send us your details so we can put together the contract.
Yes, on our exclusive talent information form. And then we will send you an onboarding form.
Yes.
Which basically, it's almost like a more in-depth version of the initial like outreach, sort of like get to know us situation.
It's like, what are your big hopes and dreams?
Yeah.
Who are your dream brand partners?
What awards do you want to
big
win?
Vision. Yeah. And then what's so fun about this, and we've had this so many times,
yes,
is when we manage to secure brand partnerships with brands that are on our creators' vision boards from their onboarding doc, we can literally see like when they filled out that form and how long it's taken us to get there.
And it's so cool.
It's such a full circle moment for everyone.
It's amazing. And then, yeah, so the creator fills out that form and then we get on a call with them to kind of chat through it just to make sure that everyone's on the same page from day one. We don't like to feel like we're spending the first month like just getting to know them. Like we kind of want to, obviously we do get to know them as time goes on, but we like to bash out enough of that at the beginning so we can like start on the right foot.
Yeah.
And then we set up their dashboard. We let them know the logistics of like sending us through opportunities, and then we kind of get going.
And I think a big part of sort of getting someone on board is doing their outreach. So we then kind of put together a list of key brand partners that we think makes a lot of sense, that we have really warm relationships with, and kind of introduce them to the new signing. And I think that, I find that really fun.
Me too.
Like, I feel like that's a bit nerdy of us to enjoy that, but I just love seeing our kind of, the relationships that we've built with all the brands and how they get so excited for us. And they're like, oh my God, I love doing this content.
Yeah.
And it's just such a nice feeling when the people that you're working with, like, and like get the kind of
vision.
creators, they just get the vibe.
Talking of which, we also do quarterly outreach, which we did yesterday. But a really fun thing about this outreach. So we also have this system which we'd onboard the creators onto, which basically allows us to pull their data without them having to send us screenshots, because that is the longest thing ever. It's the longest thing for Sonia's, and it's the longest thing for us to ask because it's just stressful for them, etc. It's just not good. But now we found a platform. Seran found the platform, or Lucy found it?
No, it was Seran.
Seran found the platform, and it enables you to pull all that information automatically. But it also is, so every time we do outreach, we switch it up because we like to keep it interesting for brands. It's really annoying for brands, like the feedback we've got is it's annoying for brands when they just get people's rosters sent across every time with no changes, no updates, no anything. So sometimes we'll like write out,
Put it in a deck.
we'll put it in a deck.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we will
Focus on case studies, or
Yes.
we'll like focus on other things.
I feel like we've done it in so many different
I
ways.
know.
Like we've done like the bog standard list and email. We've done the deck. I think we've done case study ones. We've obviously done it this way this time, where it's like an external link that takes you to
Somewhere
another place.
else.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll keep it super targeted. So it's like actual specific creative ideas.
Yeah, we did that.
By category.
By
we did one
category,
time.
yeah.
That was long.
So as part of this system that we use to track insights, we can also send all of our creators over, which is the brand new way of us doing outreach. So Seran and Lucy did outreach yesterday. We sent it out to,
Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands.
Thousands.
It's a long old slog, but it's so worth it.
It is worth it. And we can see who has opened and looked and clicked on our talent.
And it's so
sorry.
exciting.
It is. I've been getting the emails through, and honestly, it's bringing me a lot of joy. It's a bit embarrassing. I'm like, oh my God, Donna's opened it. Donna's opened it. I'm like, something amazing's gonna happen.
Yeah, so we can tell which brand's interested in our Sonias. So that is an excellent place to finish it, I guess.
Yeah.
Amazing. That was very yappy.
So yappy. Like
Gails and Yap.
Gails and Yap. Like, thank you, Gails.
Yes, we love you, Gail.
What have we learnt today?
Gails is yummy.
And if you're hosting any like corporate things or in your office or whatever, you can get these Gail's corporate spreads.
Delicious.
And you should go and do it because they're amazing.
We've had many office eras.
We've had a lot of eras.
It has been chaotic. If you are starting a business or you're part of a startup, enjoy the process.
Yeah, we're not very good at sitting on the floor. Our
Oh,
bodies kind of
gosh.
struggle with that.
We've got quite bad hips.
Hips, and also I have blood circulation issues. My foot is currently dead.
And when we're looking for creators, engagement and having something to say matters way more than how many followers you have.
And if you're a creator, do your research, find an agency that feels right for you, and go with your gut.
Yes, definitely go with your gut. That is a wrap on this week's episode of Lifting the Lid Gails edition.
Woo! Woo!
You can find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And you can follow us on socials at TBH Talent and at Lifting the Lid Pod.
And you can find us on YouTube. Just search Lifting the Lid or TBH Talent.
Bye!